Last quick story for the day. I mean, really, really fast because it's kind of just a contrast story. So I was going to tell you that yesterday they had a bunch of women's marches. And I always want to take the moment to say these are not women's marches. When the leftists in this country claim they're having a women's march, what they mean is they're having a radical leftist march, a Marxist march, and they're hoping a lot of women come. Or they're inviting women to join in the Marxist march. They're not standing up for women. They're standing up for the radical Marxist agenda that now controls the left in this country. That's what happened. But actually kind of refreshing headlines. I guess there were a few thousand who showed up in Washington for the anti-American march. And actually, the big thing they're off on right now is their opposition to Amy Coney Barrett being confirmed to the Supreme Court, which apparently is going to happen on Friday this week. But they're there to protest her. Very interesting. These people say they stand for women, and you're getting a woman on the Supreme Court, but they don't want her. So again, they're not standing for women, because if they were, they would be saying, yay, yay, Amy Coney Barrett, you go, girl, you got to be in the Supreme Court. They are protesting her because they're not standing for women. They're standing for the Marxist radical left. But the other funny headline was several headlines around the country. I just checked. Lots of places reported hundreds of women in the anti-American Women's March. My point is, there is not this. The women who claim they are the Women's March do not represent women of America. They don't represent a majority of women. They don't even represent a significant portion. As the women's movement becomes radical, leftist, crazy, they are now, if you go to their website, the Women's March, they are standing up for defunding police. Tell me how that helps women. Explain how that helps women. They're standing up for BLM and definitely the defund the police thing. They're standing up against the nuclear family unit and talking about and they have all this, gobbledygook, doublespeak language they use because they don't really want to say what they're saying. But they're basically saying, we don't really like the nuclear family. We want to have, I can't find the language. Oh, yeah. Interest to push to focus outside nuclear and blood families to be part of transforming communities. Anyway, they have a bunch of gobbledygook language that means nothing, but they want to defund the police. They're against families, and they're for radical, socialized medicine. They're radical leftists. They're allowed to be radical leftists. They're not allowed to lie about who they are and claim they stand for women in America. They stand for leftist ideology. And the last thing I'll tell Matt very quickly is I sent him a clip. This is Trump. He's out in California. And interestingly in California, he is out there. He was just in his motorcade, literally landed somewhere to go to a high dollar fundraiser at somebody's house. So he's not even getting out and talking in the crowds. It's just his motorcade going through. Matt the Wonderful, show this clip if you would. Okay, I got to cut it off because we got to go. Literally, this is Newport Beach, California, which is land of the beautiful people and the wealthy people and the beachy people. And I mean, it is a way upscale area. That went on for over a mile. People showed up to wave flags and wave and smile and wave flags because they love President Trump. In Newport Beach, California, you had more people waving flags just to wave at the president going by. Not going to get to hear him speak, not going to get to cheer him on and chant 4 more years, just standing there in the street. And they were willing to be there. More people there than in most of the anti-American women's march around the country. So I close the show by saying, before I get to why it matters to you, is that the energy you see at the Trump rallies, the energy you see at Newport Beach, California, the energy you see in all sorts of arenas, this is the real America. If we don't have cheating, if the left can be prevented from the many ways they're attempting to cheat to win this election, Trump will win in a landslide. The American people are with him. The left is noisy. They're angry, they're demanding, they are vicious, they are ugly, they are mean-spirited, and they are a small, small portion of America. Most of America wants the kind of culture of goodness that America has represented for decades. They want an America that actually has strong borders, that has prosperity, that has jobs, that has opportunity. They do not want to vote for a party, the Democrat Party of today, or as I've been frequently calling them, the Democrat "We hate America and you should too" party, because pretty much when you look at the Democrat agenda, you look at their speeches, it can be boiled down to "we hate America and you should too." That is pretty much their message of the 2020 election cycle. And the American people are not buying it. The American people they know this is a good country. They want to hold on to it. They want to keep it. And that's why you saw crowds in the street in Newport Beach, California.